you have for breakfast this morning?
Eggs and grits.
Eggs and grits. About to say, you better not have had any Belgian waffles.
Oh no. Oh no.
No,
I gave those up.
no Blue Moon this week either, right?
Oh no. I don't drink Blue Moon. I don't fruit the beer because that's against the man laws. And apparently, there's a way that you can be a Belgian and break man laws. It's called fruiting the beer. Yes, because apparently Belgian people like to fruit their beers.
You know it's a lot better than Belgian beer and waffles?
American beer and pecan waffles from Camellia Grill.
Yes! And tacos.
And tacos.
And tacos.
And sombreros.
But yes, and definitely sombreros and pecan waffles.
And pecan waffles.
Because that's American.
That's American.
American.
What episode is this, Matt? Is this the Big 4-5?
4-5.
The Big 4-5.
4-5.
We've been doing this for a long time. He's Matt. I'm Ryan, as you guys know, as of course.
Yes, this is you're getting an episode a little earlier than usual this week because some soccer team decided to go to the knockout round.
Well, this will, in all theory, be the biggest match in USA soccer history since 2002.
Oh yeah, when
2002 when we made it to the quarters.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is the best team we've had on the pitch in quite some time. Jurgen Klinsmann has our guys playing at top notch, and we're playing against a Belgium team on Tuesday who came into the tournament, as all the talking heads have said, as the dark horse of this tournament, and have only scored 4 goals in a group that was not very strong, and managed to keep the first 75 minutes of each of those first 3 games scoreless.
In fact, if I remember correct, the final 2 teams that were being picked when it came to the select group that the U.S. pod was in, it was USA and Russia, and of course this is the one the U.S. was hoping to get in,
Yep.
but instead we got dealt the card of death. But we survived.
Oh, we did more than survived. We did more. We got 1 win, we got 1 loss, and we got 1 draw. Came out with 4 points and a goal differential.
We could have and almost had 6.
Almost had 6, to where the Germany match wouldn't have mattered. But, you know, Germany's the best team in the tournament right now, as has been shown on the pitch. Brazil doesn't look too impressive.
I gotta say, maybe Germany and Colombia have been the 2 most consistent ones. The Netherlands, except for maybe, but now they found a way to get past El Tri today. But before that, they were very consistent. Argentina looks human unless Messi takes over. But yeah, I gotta say, probably Germany and Colombia are the 2 most consistent teams so far.
I have become a new King James fan, and that has nothing to do with LeBron James. It has to do with James Rodriguez, the striker and leading goal scorer of the FIFA World Cup tournament right now.
That's right.
Striker from Colombia.
Overtook Neymar and Messi.
This guy's lights out. But we'll have to see how that unfolds as the tournament moves on. It'll be real interesting come the next few days of the knockout stage.
Man, Messi will have his chance to get back on top or tied up tomorrow, or I guess technically today.
So technically,
whenever you do. Well, it depends. Whenever you wanted to watch the show.
Right, that's right. On Monday.
On Monday.
There you go.
When Argentina takes on Switzerland.
Who was ranked number 7 coming into the tournament.
They were.
Switzerland's no slouch of a team here. You know, if you're an American soccer fan, you're pulling for Switzerland. Because, and here's why. If USA defeats, let me rephrase that. When USA defeats Belgium on Tuesday, we play the winner of the Argentina-Switzerland match in the quarterfinal round. We can beat both teams with the way we played against Portugal, and defensively the way we played against Germany. We shut out the number 2 team in the world to only 1 goal and kept them outside of any kind of danger for the better part of 75 of the 90 minutes. Should we go up to face Argentina and we can, easier said than done, somehow eliminate Lionel Messi from the match, cue Jermaine Jones, then we have a good chance to beat Argentina, because Argentina, much like Brazil, without their star player, has not looked that impressive over this tournament.
Right, you want a CONCACAF Final Four, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Costa Rica? I'm kind of glad Mexico lost. Can't lie.
That's like cheering for the Falcons.
It's like cheering for Alabama. Who does that? Don't worry, I'll wait. I know one person, but that's irrelevant.
I think gardeners do.
Yep, gardeners do.
Farmers
and stuff.
And waffle likers.
And inbreds.
You know, Waffle House.
Inbred.
They probably,
inbred.
They probably like those Belgian waffles.
Absolutely.
They are pretty awesome, but not right now. They'll be awesome in like 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. That's when you're allowed to eat them. But for now, nope, better stick to them Eggos.
Right.
So, Matt, you want to just jump right into it?
Yeah, I should jump right into it. I mean, the Germany match has been analyzed enough as it is, but U.S. takes on a team that I think in a way is very similar to Germany, minus they don't have the supreme height advantage that Germany does, and I think that'll help the U.S. out some. I think that was one of the things that, just like Germany did against Ghana and against Portugal, they used the height to their advantage, and it helped out. Of course, U.S. I think can also keep up with Belgium when it comes to speed. You know?
Absolutely.
It's not one of these games where the U.S. is going to have to sit back on their heels and play defense for 80 minutes, similar to like they did against Germany and like they did against Ghana.
Right.
But another key aspect of this game is very likely Josie Altidore will be back.
Yes, he will.
The U.S., I think that helps in the fact that they get one of these offensive weapons back. We don't have to sit back on our heels. We can throw Dempsey and him back at our opponents and open this game up. So.
Well, what that does for the offensive mind of the American soccer team is that Dempsey can now move back a little bit and play setup guy for Altidore instead of playing all the way at the top of the pitch.
It just seemed like all the pressure was on him.
He had to play. He had to put it all on his shoulders on the offensive side of the pitch, and now he can play kind of where Bradley's been forced to play, and drop Bradley back because as he is a defensive-minded midfielder, do what he does best. And instead of having to get those nice first touches to set the offense up, he can now play more defense. We still have Jones, we still have Bedoya on the outside who can run the wings very well, as we've seen through the first 3 matches. Right now that we have Dempsey at the top with Altidore waiting in front, this changes the complexity of the United States offensive strategy. Because Altidore, now that he broke through the drought before the World Cup started against Nigeria, Altidore's going to be hungry. He's going to be out there on the pitch and he's going to be ready to play. So it really opens up a lot with our offensive strategy now. Instead of having Bradley, who's, like I said, a defensive-minded midfielder at the top of the diamond, he can drop back. We may not see Beckerman play, or we might not see Bradley play. It really depends on who Klinsmann thinks is going to be the better matchup.
I got to say, I see Bradley playing, but I can definitely see Beckman being the odd man out. I think Bradley being there just for his experience alone.
How about this?
But that the Klinsmann doesn't play favorites.
What if Altidore is a Chicharito super sub?
It's possible.
You've got a 0-0 match in the 65th minute. What if Altidore comes in at the top, and Beckerman comes off, move Bradley back, and then we have what I was just speaking of?
And that's a possibility. It's like, especially if he's in playing condition, but maybe we don't think he can handle the 90 minutes.
Right. Especially considering we're expecting to advance.
Right. Do you go with the similar lineup that you've had the last 2 games?
Which has worked.
Or do you throw somebody like Wando or Johansson in to start so that way Dempsey can basically play more of his natural position? Right. It's going to be interesting to see what Clemson decides to do. And I think even though Altidore's leaning towards playing, I think the next 2 days could tell a lot. I mean, a hamstring could heal some in 2 days. It could get worse.
Yeah, it could.
I think. Do you think a lot of it could play with how he does in warm-ups?
I think a lot of it has to come down to that. How loose he is in warm-ups, especially if he gets a few shots. I know in training the past couple of days, they've kept him to just a light jog, just to
which is encouraging, at least to him playing.
Absolutely. It'll really come down to when he straps the boots on and if he can actually let a few shots rip and see how his leg feels. And that might determine whether he plays, starts, or doesn't even see the pitch. He may not be in pitch form yet. It's one of those wait and see games. He'll be a match time decision.
And speaking of the full starting lineup, Belgium is down 2 guys. One, of course, with
the red
Devour.
Devour.
Devour. Good lord.
Devour, who is their starting attacking mid. Mm-hmm. He's out with a red against South Korea, and then
Kompany is doubtful, so we're gonna assume he's out.
Yeah, he'll probably be out. And Kompany and not Devour. Devour starts for Porto in La Liga in Spain, but Devour as well as Eden Hazard, they're starting attacking left wing because they run a 4-2-3-1, so they really truthfully have midfielders playing somewhat more of a striker position, and you've got Eden Hazard on the left side who can really cause some havoc, and this guy starts for Chelsea. So he's no slouch to playing with the best of the best, and I think that's going to be a lot of Jermaine Jones and DeMarcus Beasley's responsibility through most of the match. If they can keep Hazard out of the middle and attacking and force him to pass the ball off and not get something set up, you could really see some success from the American back line. The one person we may have to worry about, I can't think of his name right now, was their striker in the middle. It was their lead striker, much like Dempsey's been playing for us, and Altidore normally starts.
Yeah,
I can't think of his name right now.
But he only has one goal in the tournament, right?
Yeah, yes.
So they haven't been lighting the world on fire.
No, they've got 4 different guys, each who have 1 goal through 3 matches. They do not have I guess I can't say they don't have one outstanding player, but through the first 3 matches, they have not looked outstanding. And Belgium's got 11 guys on that pitch who could start on almost any team internationally.
Oh, yeah. They definitely have depth for sure. And then another thing to look out for is, are you going to see a couple guys start to play cautious? Guys like, for us, you got Jermaine Jones, who has a yellow card. Beckerman and Gonzalez picked up yellow cards last game.
Yep.
And then, of course, Dembele, for them, has a yellow card. So that'll be interesting to see how aggressive those guys get, because one more yellow, they would miss the quarterfinal game.
Should we advance?
Whoever advances to the quarterfinal game, if they were advanced again, then I believe yellow cards are wiped out after the quarterfinals. It's a clean slate.
Sure is.
So, a lot of things to look forward to. The game on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central Time.
Central.
In case any of our viewers are confused about when it says 3 or 4 on the television.
I was confused for the Germany match. I thought we kicked off at high noon and the match was at 11. I was flipping my lid whenever I found out it was at 11 because I wasn't ready. I thought it was a 12 o'clock match. I had to run, put everything together.
I believe the games are either going to be at 11 or 3 from now on. I want to say, or at least for this round and in the quarterfinals.
So for those of you who work on Tuesday and can get PTO, do it. Some of us, like myself, who can't use another day of PTO because it's too much of a short notice, will have to either A, DVR it, or B, watch it at my desk. Just don't tell my boss.
Yeah, I could probably go in early and maybe catch the second half, but still got stuff to get done. We got vacation coming up.
Yes,
so
we do.
Can't use too much of that time up. I mean, you get paid to go to work
and watch soccer. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I thought we were speaking on individual. My bad.
God, I wish we could get paid to watch soccer.
Well, if we could get some endorsements for the show, cough, cough, American Outlaws, NOLA chapter.
Hey, maybe they'll send us to Russia in 4 years.
That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome, and it would suck because it's Russia.
It is. It's Russia.
Putin.
I'm coming for you, brother. Putin. KGB my butt. I'll show you.
We have a better hockey team than you. We beat you on your own ice. That deserved a Peter Griffin.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So yeah, guys, tune in on Tuesday at 3 o'clock because this match is going to be one for the books. USA is going to be playing lights out. Like we said, Altidore is expected to return. You should see a little bit of a different formation, a different lineup. Hopefully Beasley is good to go. I was kind of iffy about our back line from time to time against Germany, but Germany's just a different caliber team, and Germany's going to be one of the favorites to win it this year.
To win it all, for sure.
It'll be real interesting to see how Germany progresses. I think they're playing Algeria.
Yeah, Germany plays Algeria
tomorrow, and then but they're on the other side of the bracket. So.
Right, they can only meet in the finals.
Right,
and then of course you got the game that I guess fans who will be of our game will be interested in. But also, we still got advanced.
Right.
We still play more of the waiting game. We're the last knockout game.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
It all comes down to us.
Hey, guaranteed a top 10 finish, right?
Yep.
Tie for ninth?
Technically, it would be.
Technically, a tie for ninth?
As long as we keep goal differential.
Yeah.
We're not tying for nothing.
We're going to win.
We're moving on.
Speaking of that, Ryan, I know we've kind of hinted at this, but where are you going as far as predictions for this game?
Honestly? Give me 1 second.
Okay. Check out the break.
Belgium's given up 2 and they've scored 4.
So they're not, and we've scored 4
and given up 4. So we have an even goal differential. They're in a weaker group and only scored all 4. They scored 4 goals, but they've only scored them in the last 15 minutes of each match.
Not to mention, we scored 4 with 2 of those 3 games without one of our best offensive strikers.
Truth. We've scored 4 in 2 games.
Yeah, that's right.
Technically, because we got shut out against Germany, but that was okay. We were just trying to keep goal differential to advance once Germany went up 1-0. I've been a blind optimist, and so far it's served me well. I even called the loss against Germany. I called it 2-1, not 1-0.
You and I have been spot on because we both predicted wins against Ghana.
We both I called the win against Portugal.
I said tie, but you said, we were both in agreement that a tie or a 1-goal win by the U.S.
Yep.
were very possible. Then we both predicted 1-goal losses against Germany. So
I don't think Belgium. This might be my blind optimism and my deep-seated patriotism and my deep-seated love for American soccer all rolled into one. But I'm going to ballpark it here. Like, literally out the park ballpark it here. USA 3, Belgium 1.
wow.
I think we score 2. No. I think this is how it's going to happen. We take the lead. Belgium knots it. Altidore breaks his drought in the World Cup again after he did it against Nigeria, and I think we ice it with one more late. I think we advance. I think we do. I don't think Belgium has shown up the way that everyone this year would expect them to. Our buddy Sean picked them as a dark horse. Yes. They do have a lot of talent. They really do. But I think we're playing really inspired football right now, and I think the return of Altidore and possibly moving Bradley back into the formation and putting Clint Dempsey where he is, or even leaving the diamond or moving it a bit to where Dempsey can play almost like an in-between midfielder striker and putting Altidore more farther up on the pitch could really come into play. The one thing we have to worry about is Belgium on the counter-strike. That is their go-to. That's where they killed Algeria. That's where they beat Russia. That's where they beat South Korea. That's their go-to. But so it is for us.
I think the U.S. will be prepared for it because they've been defending against that the entire tournament, especially with the team's speed that we've been playing.
Portugal and
Ghana for sure. So we won't see anything unexpected. We've seen kind of everything that Belgium will probably throw at them. We played them in 2 friendlies the last 2 years.
Yep.
They've won those 2, but Clinton himself said we don't need to really go over too much more game film or so-called specifically game plan too much more because we kind of know what they do.
Yep.
So it's more just staying in the form when it comes to training and stuff like that.
Right.
Who's a smart guy? Stu Holden.
Why is that, man?
Because he agrees with me, and I agree with him. I got the U.S. winning this game 2-1.
2-1?
You don't question Stu Holden.
No, apparently not.
I mean,
apparently not. Apparently we don't question Stu Holden here on the Matt Ryan Show.
I mean, if he wouldn't have had bad luck with the injury, he'd be, I don't know if he'd start, but he would have made the World Cup squad.
Truth.
I mean, he made it in 2010.
Truth.
Plus, a very loyal viewer of this, actually 2 very loyal viewers of this show, love Stu Holden, the Proctor brothers.
Oh, Dr. Proctor.
I mean, it's Stu. How could you not like Stu?
You can't not like him.
Hey, Stu, maybe Stu wants to come on the show.
We should get Dr. Proctor to call him.
Yeah.
He's his buddy.
We're still working on Brooks.
Yeah, we're still working on Brooks to get we're trying to get through his agent because we know he's not going to play anymore. So just come on, man, just take a 5-minute phone call.
Yeah, he didn't even have to be on. Just get on the smartphone.
I'll say this.
All right.
In closing.
Yeah, before we wrap it up.
In closing, I'll say this. At the beginning of the World Cup, Klinsmann came out and said thinking that the USA is going to win the World Cup is irrational. Let's not go there, yada, yada, yada. He said all that. Today, it has been publicly said that Klinsmann told the World Cup players, families and loved ones, to change their flights until after the World Cup finals. Didn't say why. He just told them to tell their loved ones and families, change your flights. Because the Yanks ain't going nowhere. That's the message I got. That's the message I got. Stars and stripes.
Yeah, that's one hell of a vacation.
I'm going to go with option A. I'm going to go, we're sticking around here for a little while. I think we take down Belgium 3-1. Blind optimism served me well so far. Gobert says 2, I say 3-1.
All I know is pecans are better than waffles. And I'm sticking with that. So are tacos.
Don't they like Belgian coffee too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not drinking it. Stick in the community. Buy local.
Right.
Buy local. With that being said,
That's all we really have.
We'll show you a few cutouts of the experience we had.
Yeah, we'll definitely close it out with some of the American Outlaws New Orleans chapter. I think you enjoyed this. It's a crazy bunch.
Yeah,
they're pretty crazy in Baton Rouge too, but boy, they were rowdy.
It was the show was rowdy.
Felt like a Saints game.
Definitely.
With that said,
Tuesday, 3 p.m. Tune in.
not America.
One nation.
Under God.
No. Well, that too.
Indivisible.
That too.
Liberty, America for all.
With Liberty America for all.
But your answer, one team.
One nation, one team. Go USA. And good night, America.